Hi, my name is Faye Hines, and welcome to my research prospectus presentation on the relationship between sleep quality and BMI in university students. Congruent with the global rise in overweight and obesity, there has been significant change in sleeping patterns. Pervasive societal changes have significantly contributed to the growing sleep deficiency problem. Poor sleep quality, including short duration and disturbance, is associated with negative health outcomes, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and some cancers. The relationship between poor sleep quality and various anthropometric measures has been extensively investigated. Research expounds that poor sleep quality is associated with weight gain and obesity in both adolescents and adults. Thus, the purpose of this research study is to evaluate the relationship between sleep quality and body mass index in Canadian university students. Is there a relationship between sleep quality and BMI in Canadian university students between the ages of 18 and 24 years? Based on the evidence in current literature that poor sleep quality alters metabolic function involved in appetite control, it is hypothesized that poor sleep quality is associated with a BMI of greater than or equal to 24.9 in Canadian university students. A stream of epidemiological evidence supports the association between insufficient sleep and increased incidence of overweight and obesity. A study of adults living in the UK found that short sleep duration is associated with an increased likelihood of obesity and associated comorbidities. Stern and colleagues reported a 1% higher energy intake in postmenopausal women who self-reported a sleep duration of 6 hours or less compared to a normal sleep duration of 7 hours. A study of 410 Iranian college students found that short sleep duration is associated with poor diet quality and higher BMI and waist circumference. Similarly, a cross-sectional study of 515 U.S. college students found that sleep disturbances rather than sleep duration is predictive of overweight and obesity among young adults. With over 40% of American college students reporting a BMI of greater than or equal to 25, and over 80% of college students reporting at least occasional sleep problems, further research evaluating the association between sleep quality and BMI in college students is warranted. Specifically, findings of the proposed study may be used to inform the development of programs aimed at improving sleep as an intervention for overweight and obesity in college students. Methodology. The proposed study is a quantitative cross-sectional study. The Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Index will be used to measure sleep quality in the sample population. The PSQI is a standardized quantitative measure of sleep quality with proven high levels of validity and reliability. This self-rated questionnaire assesses sleep quality over the preceding month. It consists of 19 individual items that use 4-point Likert scales. Each question is categorized into one of 7 subcategories. The sum of the scores of each subcategory yields a single global sleep score, GSS, between 0 and 21. A GSS of less than or equal to 5 indicates good sleep quality, and a score of greater than 5 indicates poor sleep quality. This dichotomous classification of the GSS will allow for statistical analysis using the chi-square test of independence. BMI will be calculated using the self-reported height and weight of participants. A BMI of greater than 24.9 is considered overweight. To create a dichotomous variable for analysis using the chi-square test of independence, BMI will be categorized as either less than or equal to 24.9 or greater than 24.9. Based on the literature, a sample size of 536 university students is sufficient to yield statistically significant results. This sample size accounts for a predicted attrition rate of 40% to 50%. Data will be collected from male and female university students between the ages of 18 and 24 years, attending one of 3 post-secondary institutions in Toronto. The University of Toronto, York University, and Ryerson University. Geographically, the universities are located in differing areas of the Greater Toronto Area. Each of these universities is demographically diverse and has a student population of between 36,347 and 88,766. The populations of each university will provide an adequate population from which to select a study population. Participants will be recruited using a variety of methods, including class announcements, campus posters, and mass emails directing students to a website for initial screening. Students that meet the eligibility criteria after the initial screening will be provided with an informed consent form. Upon submission of the informed consent form, they will be directed to fill out the PSQI online, in addition to their height, weight, age, and biological gender. The institutional review boards of all participating universities will approve the study protocol. The informed consent form will explain to the subject why the study is being done and why the subject has been asked to participate in the study. It will describe sequentially what will happen over the course of the study and whether or not the study will offer benefit to the participant or others. Once the data is collected, measures of central tendency and measures of spread will be used to organize the data and to provide a concise summary of the data that is collected. Inferential statistics will be used to make inferences about the data collected. The chi-square test statistic will be used to show whether or not there is a relationship between BMI and sleep quality based on the self-reported height and weight of participants and the GSS calculated from the PSQI. Seeing as BMI will be dichotomous in nature, less than or equal to 24.9 or greater than 24.9, logistic regression analyses will also be used to show the estimated relationship between each one of the 7 components of the PSQI. Logistic regression will be used to describe the data and to explain the relationship between the dependent binary variable, in this case BMI, and the ordinal independent variables, or the 7 components of the PSQI. The research question will be answered and the study will be considered complete after the statistical analysis is complete and it can be determined that there is either sufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis and support the alternative hypothesis, or that the data does not support the rejection of the null hypothesis. The estimated timeline to complete the study will be 7 to 10 months. Ideally, recruitment and data collection will begin midway through the fall semester and be completed by the end of the winter semester. Data analysis will be completed by the end of the spring semester. Based on previous findings, it is expected that poor sleep quality will be associated with a BMI of greater than 24.9. While recent studies concede that poor sleep quality is associated with increased BMI, few studies focus on the relationship between sleep quality and BMI in North American college and university students. Possible findings of the current study may support the need to expand health initiatives that not only promote healthy sleeping habits, but also provide education regarding its relationship to weight management and the health benefits associated with good sleep hygiene in college and university. There are several limitations of the present study. Firstly, the analysis will be based on self-reported anthropometric measurements. This may subsequently result in reporting error, and furthermore, potentially confounding variables such as dietary intake and physical activity are not considered in the study design. Lastly, the cross-sectional study design disqualifies conclusions about the causal relationship between sleep quality and BMI. This concludes my research prospectus presentation. Thank you for listening.